Hey, good evening to you. It's Lynn Dorman, Certified Paranormal. Tonight's going to be a very unusual show. I actually had a show earlier on Facebook. That's when I could do it live. I could not do it live on WLFE DB because we have another show scheduled. I didn't want to run all over them, and my guest was unavailable at this time. They were on the East Coast. It's 11 o'clock over there. So could not show them live on YouTube. I did show it live on Facebook. The show will be loaded. The primary show tonight will be loaded up tonight in the morning in actually 2 hours. It's going to be 3 hours. It's going to be 1 o'clock a.m. In the morning. So 3 hours from now, that show will automatically play. They've got it, StreamYard's got it set up to automatically play at 1 Central Time. That's 2 on the East Coast. You'll be able to watch that show. It's a brand new show. It's recorded, but it is brand new. We'll be talking about where is it? Here it is. There is Hope Paracon. The reason we're talking about this is because the proceeds will go to suicide prevention. It's in New York State. Give you all the details on the show at 1 a.m. in 3 hours. There is Hope Paracon. They will have a ghost hunt from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at a haunted location. The Paracon will be on the grounds of said haunted location. They will be available for walk-through tours during the Paracon. They will have several speakers. They will have readings. They will have expositions of different products. They're at the Paracon. And like I say, we'll give you historical tours of the location during the Paracon. Everything will be held outside. As far as they know, they've checked the long-range forecast. It's going to be fair the 3 days before the con and a day after. So there should be fair weather, and you should have a good time there in New York. The details will be shown on the show at 1 a.m. It will be available on my YouTube page. That's a CRPS Lynn Dorman, the WLFEDB radio YouTube page. And of course, it will be also available on the WLFEDB.com site. It will then be loaded up into practically everybody's streaming network, so you can see this. Now, this is a Paracon that will be done in New York, September 10th. Not this weekend, not Labor Day weekend. This is a holiday weekend coming up. This will be next weekend, September 10th. Now, what I'm going to do is next week we have another conflict. The guest cannot be on at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So what I'm going to do is earlier, I will be doing the interview, creating the show, and I will be live on Facebook for the show. I will also put it up at 1 o'clock. Set it for on YouTube for 1 o'clock a.m. next Friday morning, not Friday night, Friday morning at 1 a.m., which is basically Thursday night. 4 or 5 hours after doing it, it will automatically play on YouTube, where you can again see it on the CRPS Lynn Dorman YouTube, WLFE DB radio YouTube page, along with the WLFEDB.com page. It'll be available after 1 o'clock next Thursday, a.m., technically Friday morning, Thursday night. Next week's show, instead of you looking at my ugly mug, we will be having a replay. Now, this will be a replay next week at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, my normal time of watching a show. I will be showing a replay of tonight's show. Talking about it again. There is Hope Paracon. Again, that is is September 10th, which is not this coming weekend, next weekend. Next Thursday, I will be showing a replay of the show. I showed on Facebook tonight. It will be showing on YouTube at 1 a.m. in about 3 hours. You will be able to see it, catch it again, and get all the details to this Paracon next Thursday at our regular show time of 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Mountain, and of course 8 p.m. out on the West Coast. We'll be seeing a repeat of tonight's show, which if you watch strictly on YouTube, you have not seen and will not see until 1 a.m. in 3 hours. You can be watching it then. Those of you that watch on Facebook, you have seen the show live. If you want to see it again, tune in next week at the regular showtime, and you can see it again. More details on the show. These people, I call them young people because everybody's young to me, are well organized. They have a system. They have a haunted location. They own the paranormal location. It is haunted. So this is just a step up for them. Instead of doing an event, they do many events at this location. They're doing a Paracon at the location. Congrats to them. Support them if you can. This will be a fun event to go to. And you get, if you pay, there's a ticket, of course, for the ghost hunt at 10 p.m. Again, not this weekend, next weekend, September 10th, 10 a.m. to 2, a 4-hour ghost hunt. They will have some equipment there. Bring your own equipment if you're an investigator. If you're a novice, bring you a piece of paper, bring you a pencil, bring you a flashlight. If you got a red or green flashlight, that will be better. But bring you a flashlight. And even if you're a novice, even if you're a skeptic, you can go to this ghost hunt and have you a good time. Also, with each ticket purchase, there will be a catered meal for you. So, dinner and a ghost hunt, what else do you want? Especially with the proceeds are going to a worthy cause, suicide prevention. So please pay attention to these people. And it will be an interesting Paragon to go to. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a little short show tonight. It's just going to be me. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and roll.
Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman featuring Bones. Catch us on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Facebook, Stream, and everywhere else you catch your podcasts. And of course, WLFE-DB.com. Now, from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, right beside the Bayou Bartholomew, the longest bayou on the planet, broadcasting from downtown metropolitan Cane Creek Township, here is your host, Len Dorman.
Here we go. I am by myself tonight. This is going to be a very short show. This is mostly to promote the show that will be seen at 1 o'clock on YouTube. I will be promoting this show, the Paracon. There is hopeparacon.com. I'm not running their information. And hello to Donna Partlow. Okay. She's already gone. All right. Anyway, I am not running. Here we go. Here we are. I forgot to turn that on. These are the two Facebook pages. There's another one at the event location. These are the best two locations to get information on the Paracon. The second one is for the ghost hunt. First one coming up right now is for the main There is Hope Paracon Facebook page. There it is. And then the second one, the Ghost Hunt Facebook page. That's where they talk about what they're going to do during the ghost hunt. They're going to have some special guests, and some of it is a surprise that even I have not been told. So go to it if you got a chance. Now, some of the other things I want to cover tonight is what? I don't know. One we want to cover another Paracon, D&M Paranormal, Haunted Evening at the Mineral Springs Hotel, Alton, Illinois. That is September 24th. That is coming up this month. It's in a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks. So if you are in this area, the Mineral Springs Hotel, Alton, Illinois, contact D&M Paranormal. Tickets are $30 each, and that's a deal, especially 7 p.m. till 2 a.m. to go into what I know is a haunted location. To be there, especially if they got some door prizes, some raffles, and some other things, and to have a guided tour of the Mineral Springs Hotel at Alton, Illinois. That will be an excellent thing to go to if you can be in that area. Talk to D&M Paranormal and see if you can get you a ticket to go. Another one is, of course, October 1st at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the Holiday Inn, 1350 North 1st Street, San Jose, California. They've got some speakers, exposition hall, vendors. They are also going to have a raffle. That's the Paranormal Psychic Fair out west in California. If you want to go to that, contact them. The contact's right there. And I would say if you're going to be in the California area, that's a long boat ride for me. Will not be there, but go there if you can. Now, Non-Com 7, Dale Kazmarek will be there. And I believe that is September 23rd at Pottstown Elementary School. That has been on several of the ghost shows on TV. So any fan of a paranormal TV knows this location, knows what's going on, and knows where it is. Go to this event. Free to attend, free to set up. And if you've got a paranormal group, or if you got a paranormal show like me, get there and run a table. So that's a good thing to go to, right there. That's several different locations for people to go to in different areas of the country. Because again, the one I was talking about earlier is in New York State. So that's New York State, that's California, and Illinois, and there is another one in Illinois. Let me let Dale talk about it. It is the Midwest. I've been talking too long tonight. Midwest Spirit Fest. That's a mouthful. I can do something about that. Midwest Spirit Fest. So let me let Dale Kazmarek tell you about that.
Hi everyone, I'm Dale Kazmarek from the Ghost Research Society. Just talking very quickly about our upcoming convention called the Midwest Spirit Fest on October 16th, 2022 at the Thornton Distillery in Thornton, Illinois from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. People are interested in getting tickets, they can go to my website at ghostresearch.org or also find it on Eventbrite or Facebook page. I hope to see all of you there.
All right. Thornton, Illinois, at a brewery. Again, how much can you ask for? This is a brewery. I believe they serve food. So I'd say make an evening out of it. And anytime you get to spend time with Dale Kazmarek and Ghost Research Society, do so. They're a very old group. The Ghost Research Society was organized back in the early 70s. Dale Kazmarek, I am 66 years old. Dale Kazmarek was doing investigations when I was still in high school. And he was just out of high school. He's only about 4 years older than me. But go to that event. A lot of knowledge. There's a lot of ghost hunting experience. There's a lot of locations in Dale Kazmarek's mind. If you can spend 5 minutes with him, you are blessed. If you can go on a ghost hunt at a haunted location and get you something, get you some good food, get you some good drink, and spend some time with the Ghost Research Society, do so. And that will be a fun event. And you just heard the date. Let me play this one more time.
Hi everyone, I'm Dale Kasmerick from the Ghost Research Society. Just talking very quickly about our upcoming convention called the Midwest Spirit Fest on October 16th, 2022 at the Thornton Distillery in Thornton, Illinois from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. People are interested in getting tickets, they can go to my website at ghostresearch.org or also find it on Eventbrite or Facebook page. I hope to see all of you there.
And there you have it. All right. A little bit of thing about me. I was going to run this show maybe 20, 30 minutes tonight, and we have done 16. So I've done my 15. So we're approaching 30. Got a couple of watchers. This is just basically a promo for new people. This is just promo for a show that was seen earlier on Facebook and will be seen on YouTube. It will be uploaded automatically by StreamYard to YouTube at the CRPS Lynn Dorman YouTube page, WLFEDB, my network radio page, the WLFEDB.com main site. And for there, it will be put into the stream and be uploaded into all of your favorite podcast networks. But that will not be available for sight on YouTube on these channels, which is being seen at the Southern Fried Paranormal podcast page, my own SEARK, SEARKPS Lynn Dorman YouTube page, and of course the WLFEDB radio YouTube page. The very channels we're broadcasting live on right now will be where this new show, it is a recorded show, but it's new to YouTube anyway, at 1 a.m., about 2.5-3 hours from now. That's where you can see it. I will also replay the same show next week at our regular scheduled time, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 out there on the West Coast. Their event is next weekend, so I want to get them some heavy play. So I'm going to go ahead and replay this show that's doing nothing but talk about this event, which is, again, right, there is Hope Paracon. All proceeds will go to suicide prevention for this event. Now, normally the other events there, they run ghost hunts there. All their money goes into, they own the building, goes back into the building, putting a roof on it or any other kind of maintenance they need. So this is a group that does it right. They have a venue, and the money you give them to ghost hunt in that venue goes into rehabbing the venue. So please support this group, and so they can keep this venue going, because we don't need to lose any other known haunted locations to just the wilderness or just falling down or to vandals. We need it open, we need it active, and we need to put money in these locations to rebuild them for future use. Because just because we go in there now doesn't mean that a year from now we might want to go back in there with somebody else. In fact, that's the best way to investigate a location, is to actually go in there on repeated nights, different times of the year, different situations, and see what you get. Because there's no guarantee about you getting anything on a one-time visit anywhere. Now, I've known some people who've gone down to some very, very haunted locations. They spent 4 hours there talking to walls because they got nothing. Just because you just went in there for 4 or 5 hours on one night doesn't mean there's nothing there. There could very easily be an extremely haunted location. You just went there at a bad time. There could be, you could walk out where you normally would have and snuck back in there an hour later, and you might uh, have one of the most active events you've ever seen. You just don't know. These are former people. They are spirits. They have feelings. They are not. They're not even a dog that's going to say jump through this hoop, and they're going to jump through the hoop every time. That's not the way you do things. You go in there and see what you got. You catch as catch can. Going into a place repeatedly is the best way to ghost hunt. And by the way, people have often said, how in the world at your age did you get a paranormal talk show? Well, who gave you this show? Well, I can't mention any names, but it rhymes with said. Yes, rhymes with said. And I don't know about his personal bits. And I did not have to fondle them to get the show. But I do have to speak nicely of him. So, he's a good guy. So I'll say that. And there we go. And that's how I keep the show on. And that's why I've got one. Of course, I've had a lot of experience in the paranormal. I've been investigating for many years. Sometimes people wonder what I've done. Here I am at a Paracon. Yes, I have been to a Paracon. Here I am in hat with an event. The hat's advertising an event I did at Camp Douglas, just inside Chicago. It's a former Civil War prison camp. Between 4,000 and 6,000 people died there. And I'm wearing the hat right here from that event while I'm sitting there behind the table, helping sell other stuff for other people. And here I am at the Roth House in the basement. This was taken with a flash. I had my night vision going until this picture was taken. I was blinded for about 15 minutes. So, please let people know before you do a flash in a dark basement. And this is a long explanation. This is right here, right along in this area here, is where John Dillinger fell when he was shot by the FBI. Yes, if you go this way, a ways down, you will be in front of the Biograph Theater in Chicago. This is the alleyway that they walked to. And right here, if you say he hit the ground when he was still living and died on the ground, this is where he died. This is at least where he fell. Along in here somewhere. So that was another place I investigated. If we go here, this is an even longer story. By the way, I'm drinking sweet tea. See, right here. Right here, the sweet tea. A southern delicacy. I am from Georgia. Currently live in Arkansas. So it's sweet tea. This is John Humphrey, and this is Amelia Patrick, her maiden name, Humphrey. They were married in 1863. That is when this photo was taken, at their wedding day, 1863. The reason I bring them up is because their firstborn child died at 11 months and 4 days. And look at the bottom of this little note. Buried in Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, south of Chicago. Yes, I've been in contact with Libby May. She has learned a lot of things. She actually learns how to talk. And she's been at Bachelor's Grove for a number of years, buried in the old Patrick plot, because when they abandoned Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, they notified the family, as many family members as they could find, to exhume their family members. That was about half the cemetery. There's over 400 people buried in that one time. They got about half of them. And there was the Patrick family and the Humphrey family have mostly died off or completely moved away. And there was nobody willing to come up, and I don't think the Patricks had a grave or a cemetery to rebury them at. So they did not disinter them. And Libby Mae Humphrey was the only Humphrey buried there with her Patrick relatives. The reason they buried her there is because Orland Park in a nearby town was founded by John Humphrey. But they reserved ground for a cemetery. Of course, you got a town, you got to have a cemetery. People die all over. But the cemetery was not ready for burial until 1869. She died 1865, 4 years before the cemetery in Orland Park was ready. They had, of course, a major plot there. John Humphrey's buried, got his first wife. We'll go back over here. His first wife, Amelia, on one side of it. Think about his wife. She died in 1880. I believe it's correct. And he was a politician. He was a state senator. In the 1880s, 1890s, he was the most powerful man in Cook County outside the city of Chicago. He immediately, upon getting that position, got a secretary, started having an affair with said secretary. This, with Amelia Patrick, was an arranged marriage. Both families had property, so it was arranged marriage for them, those two. It was thought to be a loveless marriage. But he is buried with his first wife on one side, and beside her is the kids she bore him that are buried in Orland Park. On the other side of him is his second wife. The other side of her are a couple of kids that she bore him. So this cannot be the happiest of situations in the afterlife. The reason she came to Bachelor's Grove and was the lady on the stone is because her firstborn child, Libby Mae Humphrey, was buried and still is in Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. Now her and Libby have since been, I worked with them for a while and got them to stop hanging around the cemetery. That place has been desecrated so many times. The spirits and the feeling at night is completely different than the day. She usually come by at dusk every day to pick up her daughter. Now they come around there and play because there's nothing there during the day. They come around and hang around a little bit during the day, but they're going a lot of other places now. Because I told them to tour the world, go out and have fun, get out of this abandoned cemetery and see the world. So I've been told that Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is a lot less haunted than it used to be. Some of that's a forest preserve. They're keeping it on the place now and not allowing desecration like they used to. And the fact that I asked the spirits to travel around some, go other places, have some fun, see something besides this dumb little cemetery that everybody wants to argue over. and there's still people arguing over that place. It's drama. And I'm glad I'm down here in Arkansas. I'm glad I'm away from it. Anyway, another thing about me. This is me. That's the wife behind me. This was taken with a full spectrum camera, and this was also taken at a popular spot in New Orleans. And yes, I've been ghost hunting in New Orleans. That right there is a feather that was given to me by an old Native American medicine man, shaman, who looks over the old village, which is the other side of the creek from Baxter's Grove, and was the original settlement in the area. As anybody who knows much about Native Americans knows, if you have a creek, a stream, a river, you have Native Americans living there. And in this area, you not only had the Baxter's Grove Creek, which is what we call it around Baxter's Grove, just for lack of a better name, it splits. And of course, the village was right there close to the split. We're kind of flood out over an area that they could water their horses early, or before they had horses, water their dogs and have water themselves. And the creek that eventually became the canal is only about a mile away from there. So they had a water source there immediately, and only a mile or so away had another much larger water source. That's where that feather came from. It just appeared at the base of a tree. And another shot. Here's the hat. There's a feather. There's a K2. There's a full spectrum camera on a frame. There is a big light on top of the frame. I forget what this is. I think the rim pod should be familiar with anybody. This is another rim tight device. And this is obviously a bedroom. This is in the Andrew Jackson Hotel in New Orleans. The hotel is extremely haunted, and this room is quite haunted. And I would run some protection spells with you even looking at this picture. There's more pictures posted on the CR PS Facebook, Linda Orman Facebook page. You can look through my photos and you will see the entire photo shoot from this hotel. I was there for 2 nights and got some interesting photographs. I know somebody recorded a scream. I, for a very short time, got an interactive millimeter session. That's on video. I have got to edit my videos and go through that, get that evidence. But that's an amazing place. That's a very haunted hotel in a very haunted city. If you get a chance to New Orleans, go. So you see, I've ghost hunted in Georgia. I've ghost hunted in a lot in Chicago area. I've ghost hunted here in Arkansas, the Allen House specifically. There's also, I thought I had a picture, must not, I don't see it, of a haunted hospital that I visited. I guess I don't see it. Anyway, here in Arkansas, southeast Arkansas, in Dumas. They had a Halloween event there for a while, and they had to stop having the Halloween haunted house there because some of the people that was going through, and some of the people working were being semi-possessed. All of a sudden, they would start babbling nonsense and feel like there was somebody trying to take over, and they had to shut it down because of paranormal activity there. And I've been in there for several hours, and where they put the newborns was very creepy. They got 2 waiting rooms outside the emergency room. The reason I bring that up is what's so haunted about the waiting room. Well, this hospital, being in a small town, did not have a morgue. Like the new hospital's got a morgue, but back then, this hospital closed back in the '90s, mid to late '90s. In fact, my brother-in-law was actually born there. He's actually from Chicago, but his mother was visiting his grandmother, my wife's grandmother, in Dumas, and she got her water broke, so they took her to the hospital real quick, and she had my brother-in-law right there at that small hospital. Anyway, uh, back to lack of morgue. When people died, they called the county coroner, of course, but they did not have a morgue to put them in. So they had the waiting room split in two. There was two waiting rooms. They would keep one of them closed unless it was empty and they had a lot of overflow in the emergency room. Because if somebody died, they would wheel them into the closed one of the two rooms that we used for sitting. So invariably, if you went to the emergency room and sat down in a chair, probably, well, they used both sides, so there's no probably to it. You were sitting there within feet, if not inches, from where the day before, maybe earlier that day when you're there, or a week ago, a dead body was on a gurney. Probably with the air conditioner turned out a tad. Because that's where they stored the dead bodies until the county coroner could get there to take care of them. And those two waiting rooms are creep central, let me tell you. Another place that's creep central is the delivery room. Because there was another thing. They did not have an incinerator in this hospital. When there was a miscarriage, a stillbirth, and the family just did not want the remains. Some families do, some don't, especially with a miscarriage. Not having an incinerator, they couldn't burn those. So they buried them out behind the hospital and did not remove them when they closed and opened up the new one, because they have an incinerator there. Those remains of aborted and miscarried babies, if you call that a baby, legally they are nowadays, especially. They just buried them in the back in unmarked graves. There's just a grassy area back there that sits empty to this day, and you don't know exactly where these human remains are. But that's buried just outside the hospital there in Dennis. Take a picture of Andrew Jackson's hotel down. But that's a couple of the places I've been to down here. Another thing I want to talk about tonight, I did not prepare a whole lot for the show tonight, obviously. Saving most of my good material for when I have to forced to do a by myself show because I have a guest canceled or whatever. But here's a banner. Yes, Southern Fried Paranormal. We are looking for guests for October. Our September is booked solid. Looking for October to guest. If you got a paranormal group, if you got a team, you've got an event like the one I broadcast tonight. If you've got another show and you want to appear on this one to advertise yours or to talk a little bit about what kind of paranormal you're doing, what you're doing in the paranormal, contact me, Lynn Dorman, on Facebook. It's the best way you can do it. I know Facebook has its issues. They are still one of the best communications devices around. And I'm on Messenger. That's the best way to get me. Leave a message, and I will get back to you because that will pop up in my stream when I go to Facebook. And I will get in contact back with you, or you can just send me a message on Facebook. Of course, I get a message for that, and I will get in contact with you, and we can figure this out how you want to appear and when. But like I said, September is booked. October, a whole different matter. Also, I've already got an approval from the boss man at WLFEDB, and I believe Halloween is on Monday this year. I am kind of free to do what I want to do all day. There's not going to be live shows. I will be broadcasting live. Now, if it's raining, I'll be right here in my studio. They've been looking a lot at me and looking a lot at this chair and this weird pink lighting that I use. Hopefully, if it's not raining, I will be doing live broadcasts outside. We'll be doing everything because we'll be doing a long show. I'm looking for anybody who wants to appear. They can have their own show and appear on this one for 10 minutes, advertising their show, and then go on their show live. I don't care. They want to come in here and do a quick reading, or they just want to come in there, and say something silly, and move on because they're in costume, or if they want to hang around for a while. I will be in a Halloween costume. Not sure what yet. I have played a zombie in a video, so got some experience doing zombie makeup. You don't know. I have a couple of different costumes here. But Halloween, I will be doing a special all evening and stretching into the morning because Halloween is a 2-day event for me and the wife, because we not only celebrate Halloween on the 31st, we celebrate Day of the Dead on the 1st. So if I'm live on Facebook and YouTube for several hours, probably have to renew it. I think you're limited. They try to limit you to about 4 hours on Facebook, and that's about as long as videos anybody's going to watch on YouTube. Anyway, I may refresh it every 2 hours. Or if I get rid of a guest, I may go back, take a 10-minute break, and come back on. But it will be a pretty marathon on Halloween. Of course, that is October 31st. And that's what I'll be doing there. Like I said, September, I have booked with guests. But October, I am looking for new guests. Specifically in October, if you know anything about scary movies, I'm here. If you just want to chat about scary movies, that is fine. If you want to do a review, I'm not sure how much of a movie we can show. Not a whole lot on YouTube without getting hit on it, but be glad to discuss any kind of horror, any kind of paranormal. Hey, let's just sit here and exchange ghost stories. That is fine. Halloween is kind of wide open for me. I will be doing normal promotions. This depends on what the guest wants to do and what they're here for. So that's what I'm looking for. Guests, I'll be doing 4 regular shows at the regular time, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific. And then we'll be doing the Halloween show, which will start probably about just before dark here in Arkansas, which would be close to around 6 Central, maybe 6 to 7 on the East Coast. But I'll be in and out. I may have some substitute guests in here. That'll be fine. I may go out for 5 minutes and let the guests sit there and talk. But that's going to be a good time. Halloween night, October 31st. But we still got a month to go, and we got some promotions to do again next week. I will be showing. I was on live Facebook earlier tonight, showing the There Is Hope, talking about the There Is Hope Paracon and the event they're having September 10th. So we will be, again, showing that next week at our regular scheduled time. We will be showing this show again as a repeat. Already got it scheduled through StreamYard. That show will be showing at 1 Central. That's 2 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube. It's already shown live on Facebook. If you saw it there, that's fine. If you want to see it again, if you want to see it on YouTube, well, of course, you can watch it all you want on Facebook. If you want to see it on YouTube, it will not be available at 2 o'clock in the morning on YouTube. That's at the CARK, SEARK, PS, Lindorman, WLFEDP radio YouTube page. And of course, it was also loaded up in the same place you're watching this show, which is the Southern Fried Paranormal podcast page. But it will be available. The show will be available on the Southern Fried Paranormal podcast page in both YouTube channels at 2 a.m. Eastern. That's in about 2. Well, that's just 2 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock now, Eastern. Oh, no, it's Central. That's 1 o'clock. They will be available in 2 hours. Just a little over 2 hours. No matter, regardless what time zone you are. You can watch the There Is Hope Paranormal Paracon show. Will be shown a repeat next week at the regular show time. Our earlier show, I will be early next week because the guests cannot be on late. We'll be showing interview show, brand new, live on Facebook, I believe at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. And it will also be available, won't be available on YouTube until 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. Now, we will not be showing that show the next week because we will have a live show in 2 weeks. And we'll have a live show after that. And hopefully all the way through October, we will have live shows. Now, is there anything to contact me because you want to be a guest? We're looking for guests. Contact me on Facebook. Lynn Dorman. Look it up. Elena, D-O-R-M-A-N. Look us up, and I'd be glad to book you for a show during the month of October. Let me explain a few of the things. Wait a minute. Okay. And that's what blackness looks like. Okay, here I am. Finally found the picture. Also, you'll also see that in the beginning of the show, Anyway, I did not plan on being on here for an hour, but I have been. Usually my motor mouth. I'm from Georgia. Georgians are known for motor mouths. But anyway, I think I've covered about all I wanted to cover tonight. And we're going to advertise everything one more time. Again, there's Hope Paracon. Not this coming weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, September 10th. Please watch the show. It will be available on YouTube at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, in about 2 hours from now. Or you can watch it on Facebook Live, or just Facebook my page, Lynn Dorman. It's available on my main profile. You can watch it there. It was recorded live on Facebook. If you want to go to any of the other Paracons, I have them here. Dale's Cosmeric is going to be at Non-Com 7 in Pottstown Elementary School. Pottstown Elementary, it should be well known to the TV show watchers of the paranormal shows. It has been featured on 2 or 3 of the paranormal shows on TV. Ah, yes, sweet tea. And here, one of our little sponsors, the Paranormal Psychic Fair, way out in California, 1350 North 1st Street, San Jose, California. It's a long boat ride from here at the Holiday Inn. Check it out, October 1st. And then our good friends, DNA Paranormal, asked me to put this up. They are having a haunted evening at the Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois, September 24th, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Door prizes, raffles, and tickets are $30. And that's not bad for a historic tour, historical information, paranormal question and answer, and a guided investigation of a known haunted location. $30 is not too much to ask. So go to D&M Paranormal and get you some details and see if you can get a ticket. They have limited tickets. I guess he would have contacted me if they're sold out, but check it out, because it will encourage, if they are sold out and they still have people asking, maybe they give you a ticket for next year, but that will definitely encourage them to have an event again at another time. They don't have to wait a year. They could have another hunt there in 2 months if they want. As long as they get time to advertise it. If they start selling tickets to something, they may have to create another event whenever they can go through there. But as a known haunted location, go if you can. All right. We are going to get out of here. Let y'all go about your business. Go back to bed. Got a couple of people watching. If one was my wife, go to sleep. But we are going to get on out of here. And just remember one thing. The paranormal never sleeps.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to tune in to next week as once again we journey way down south into Bayou Country for another heaping portion of Southern Fried Paranormal with Lynn Dorman and Bones. Make sure to like, share, and follow. Y'all come back now. You hear?